Have you ever wondered why some people seem to jump out of airplanes for fun, while others won't even cross the street against a red light? It's easy to think it's all about personality, but what if I told you it has a lot more to do with where you live? Today, we're diving deep into Europe's fascinating relationship with risk and how it shapes everything from daily life to the biggest decisions we make. You might be surprised to find out that the systems around you are constantly influencing how much risk you're willing to take. Let's start with a simple idea: risk is a part of life. Crossing the road, starting a business, even falling in love, they all carry some level of uncertainty. But how we handle that uncertainty is where things get interesting, especially when you compare different societies. In many parts of the world, especially the United States, there's a strong culture of individual responsibility. If you take a big risk and it pays off, you reap the rewards. But if you fail, well, you often bear the full weight of that failure alone. This can lead to incredible innovation and huge successes, but it also creates a society with very high stakes. Now, let's pivot to Europe. For centuries, Europe has been building a different kind of system, one that's designed not just to reward success, but to cushion failure. It's a system built on a concept you could call socializing risk. This doesn't mean no one takes risks. It means the community, through various social structures, collectively agrees to share the burden when things go wrong. This approach can be broken down into three main strategies: avoid, insure, and absorb. First up, avoidance. This is all about preventing bad things from happening in the first place. Think about European regulations. You see them everywhere. From strict food safety standards that ensure your croissant is safe to eat, to rigorous building codes that make sure your apartment building won't collapse. In Germany, there's the famous TGV, an organization that tests and certifies everything from cars to children's toys to ensure they meet high safety standards. This proactive approach is designed to minimize dangers before they can ever become a problem. It's a society saying, let's work together to make life as safe as possible for everyone. This creates a baseline of security that's often taken for granted. But you can't avoid every risk. What happens when something unexpected occurs? That's where the second strategy comes in: insurance. And I'm not just talking about the private insurance you buy for your car or home. In Europe, insurance is deeply woven into the fabric of society. Universal healthcare is the most obvious example. If you get sick or have an accident in France or Sweden, you don't have to worry about a $1 million hospital bill bankrupting your family. The cost is spread across the entire population through taxes. Your personal financial risk of a health crisis is dramatically reduced. The same principle applies to unemployment benefits. If you lose your job in Denmark, the system provides a strong safety net to help you get back on your feet, often with retraining programs included. This isn't just about charity, it's a collective insurance policy. Everyone pays into the system, and in return, everyone is protected from the catastrophic financial consequences of job loss. It changes the psychology of work. You're less likely to stay in a terrible job out of pure fear. And you might even feel more empowered to start your own business, knowing that failure won't mean complete ruin. This brings us to our third and final strategy: absorption. This is what happens when a risk can't be avoided or fully insured against. Society steps in to absorb the shock. Think about natural disasters. When a river floods a town in the Netherlands, it's not just up to the individual homeowners to rebuild. The national government, and sometimes even the European Union, will provide funds and resources to help the community recover. The collective absorbs the blow, ensuring that a single event doesn't wipe out an entire region. You also see this in the legal system. In many European countries, consumer protection laws are incredibly strong. If you buy a faulty product, it's much easier to get your money back or a replacement. The risk is shifted from you, the consumer, onto the larger corporation, which is better equipped to absorb the cost. The idea is to protect the more vulnerable party. So what's the big picture effect of all this? This system of avoiding, ensuring, and absorbing risk creates a very different environment for individual decision-making. When the consequences of failure are less severe, people's relationship with risk changes. It becomes less about taking life or death gambles and more about making calculated choices within a secure framework. Does this mean Europeans are inherently less adventurous? Not at all. It just means the types of risks they take are different. An American might see the ultimate risk as starting a company that could make them a billionaire or leave them with nothing. A European might see a big risk as moving to another country for a new job, knowing their healthcare and pension rights are largely protected across the EU. The safety net doesn't eliminate risk. It redefines it. It frees people up to take risks in other areas of life, creative pursuits, personal development, or starting a family without constantly fearing financial catastrophe. This approach also fosters a high degree of social trust. When you know that society has your back, you're more likely to trust your neighbors, the government, and the institutions around you. You pay your taxes because you see the direct benefits in the form of good roads, safe parks, and reliable healthcare. It's a virtuous cycle, of course. No system is perfect. Critics of the European model often point to higher taxes, extensive bureaucracy, and a potential reduction in the incentive for radical, high-reward innovation. They argue that if you cushion failure too much, you might also be dampening the drive for spectacular success. There's a constant debate about finding the right balance. How much security is too much? And how much individual responsibility is necessary to keep society dynamic? These are not easy questions, and every country in Europe answers them slightly differently, creating a diverse tapestry of social contracts. But the underlying principle remains powerful, the idea that we are stronger together, and that by sharing the burdens of life's uncertainties, we can create a more stable and humane society for everyone. It's a fundamental shift from every person for themselves to we all in this together. So the next time you see a headline about European regulations or social benefits, remember the three-part strategy: avoid, insure, and absorb. It's not just about rules and taxes, it's a deeply ingrained philosophy about how to live together and face the unpredictable nature of life. It's about building a society where individuals are free to thrive, not because they are shielded from all risk, but because they are protected from ruin. What do you think? Is this level of socialized risk a good thing? Or does it stifle individual ambition? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. Thanks so much for watching, and if you found this interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the ideas that shape our world. See you next time.